Let's go way back, to a time when the world was a very different place. Imagine a landscape untouched by modern civilization, where the air was crisp and the land was wild and untamed. This is the beginning of England's story, a tale that starts with the earliest settlers who roamed these lands thousands of years ago. These early humans were resourceful and resilient, using primitive tools made from stone and bone to survive in a harsh environment. Welcome to Ancient Universe Channel. Long ago, before anyone wrote anything down, prehistoric people lived here. They were hunter-gatherers, constantly on the move in search of food. They lived in caves and temporary shelters, relying on their knowledge of the land to find sustenance. They built amazing things like Stonehenge, that big circle of rocks, which still stands today as a testament to their ingenuity and determination. Stonehenge wasn't just a random collection of stones, it was a carefully constructed monument that likely served as a place of worship and a calendar to mark the changing seasons, and burial mounds like little hills where they buried their dead. These mounds were more than just graves. They were sacred sites that reflected the beliefs and customs of these ancient people. The way they honored their dead tells us a lot about their culture and their respect for the afterlife. These show us they cared about their beliefs and nature. They worshiped the natural world, seeing the land, the sky, and the sea as powerful forces that needed to be respected and revered. Their rituals and ceremonies were deeply connected to the cycles of nature, reflecting a profound understanding of their environment. Later, Celtic tribes called Britons lived in England. They were good farmers, cultivating the land and raising animals. The Celts were skilled in agriculture, using advanced techniques to grow crops and sustain their communities. Their villages were bustling centers of activity with people working together to ensure their survival. They made things out of metal and were strong warriors. They made cool jewelry and weapons. The Celts were not only farmers but also talented artisans. They crafted beautiful metalwork, creating intricate jewelry and formidable weapons. Their craftsmanship was highly regarded, and their warriors were known for their bravery and skill in battle. Then, powerful soldiers from Rome came, called the Roman legions. The arrival of the Romans marked a significant turning point in England's history. These disciplined and well-organized soldiers brought with them new technologies, ideas, and ways of life. The Roman legions were a formidable force, and their presence would forever change the landscape and culture of ancient England. In the year 43 AD, the Roman Emperor Claudius declared, "Let's invade Britain." This bold proclamation marked the beginning of a significant chapter in history. Claudius, eager to expand the Roman Empire, saw Britain as a land of opportunity, rich in resources and strategic value. His decision was not just a military maneuver, but a calculated political move to solidify his power and legacy. Roman soldiers landed in England with determination and a well-organized plan. They were equipped with advanced weaponry and tactics, which gave them a significant advantage over the native Britons. The sight of the Roman invasion fleet must have been both awe-inspiring and terrifying for the local population. The Britons, however, were not easily subdued. They fought back bravely, led by their fierce and determined queen Boudica. Boudica became a symbol of resistance and courage, rallying her people to defend their homeland against the invaders. Her leadership and the bravery of the Briton warriors became legendary. Despite their valiant efforts, the Britons were no match for the disciplined and well-trained Roman legions. The Romans were too strong, their military formations too effective, and their strategies too advanced. The battles were fierce, but the outcome was inevitable. The Romans gradually gained control, subduing the resistance and establishing their dominance. England became part of the vast Roman Empire, a significant addition to its already extensive territories. The Roman influence began to permeate every aspect of life in England, from governance to culture. The integration of England into the Roman Empire marked the beginning of a profound transformation. The Romans built cities like London, which became bustling centers of commerce and administration. They constructed an extensive network of roads that connected various parts of the country, facilitating trade and communication. Roman laws and language were introduced, laying the foundation for modern English society. They built luxurious villas, elaborate bathhouses, and grand amphitheaters where people could enjoy entertainment. These structures were not just functional, but also symbols of Roman culture and sophistication. The architectural and engineering prowess of the Romans left a lasting legacy in England. England changed a lot because of the Romans, but eventually the Romans lost their power. The decline of the Roman Empire led to the withdrawal of Roman forces from England, leaving behind a transformed landscape. The remnants of Roman civilization can still be seen today, a testament to their enduring impact on the history and culture of England. When the Roman Empire got weaker, the Roman soldiers left England. This departure marked the end of an era and left a power vacuum in the region. The once mighty Roman legions, who had protected and governed the land, were now gone, leaving the local population vulnerable to new threats and opportunities. The infrastructure and organization that the Romans had established began to crumble, and the people of England had to fend for themselves. This period of uncertainty set the stage for significant changes in the social and political landscape of England. New tribes came from Europe, the Angles, Saxons, and Jutes. We call them Anglo-Saxons. These tribes were fierce warriors and skilled farmers, and they saw an opportunity to settle in the fertile lands of England. They arrived in waves, bringing with them their own customs, languages, and ways of life. The Anglo-Saxons were not a single unified group, but rather a collection of tribes that often competed with each other for territory and resources. Over time, they began to establish their own communities and integrate with the local population, leading to a blending of cultures. They made their own kingdoms in England and pushed the Britons to the west. The Anglo-Saxons carved out territories and established several small kingdoms, each ruled by its own king. These kingdoms included Wessex, Mercia, Northumbria, and East Anglia, among others. The Britons, who were the original inhabitants of the land, were gradually pushed to the western fringes of the island, into areas like Wales and Cornwall. This migration and settlement process was not always peaceful, and there were many battles and skirmishes as the Anglo-Saxons expanded their control. Christianity also came to England. The arrival of Christianity marked a significant cultural and religious shift. Missionaries from Rome and other parts of Europe began to spread the Christian faith among the Anglo-Saxons. This new religion brought with it new ideas, art, and architecture, which began to influence the Anglo-Saxon way of life. The construction of churches and the adoption of Christian symbols became more common, and the new faith started to take root in the hearts and minds of the people. People from Rome taught the Anglo-Saxons about Christianity. These missionaries played a crucial role in converting the Anglo-Saxon kings and their subjects to Christianity. Figures like St. Augustine of Canterbury were instrumental in this process, establishing monasteries and churches that became centers of learning and spiritual life. The conversion to Christianity also helped to unify the various Anglo-Saxon kingdoms under a common faith, which in turn facilitated greater cooperation and cultural exchange among them. Monasteries, places where people learned and prayed, became important. These monasteries were not just religious centers, but also hubs of education and culture. Monks and nuns dedicated their lives to studying religious texts, copying manuscripts, and preserving knowledge. They also provided education to the local population, teaching reading, writing, and other skills. The monasteries became places of refuge and stability in a time of frequent conflict and change, offering spiritual guidance and support to the communities around them. King Alfred the Great was a very important Anglo-Saxon king. He is remembered not only for his military successes, but also for his contributions to education and law. Alfred the Great defended his kingdom of Wessex against Viking invasions and laid the foundations for a unified English nation. He promoted learning and literacy, translating important texts into English and encouraging the education of his people. His reign marked a period of relative stability and progress in a time otherwise characterized by turmoil and conflict. He stopped the Vikings from taking over and helped people learn to read and write. Alfred's military strategies and fortifications helped to repel Viking attacks, and his efforts to promote education had a lasting impact on Anglo-Saxon society. He established schools and encouraged the use of the English language in written documents, which helped to preserve the culture and history of his people. Alfred's legacy as a warrior, scholar, and leader continues to be celebrated in English history. But then, new trouble came from Scandinavia: the Vikings. These fierce warriors from the north launched raids on Anglo-Saxon settlements, plundering and pillaging as they went. The Vikings were known for their seafaring skills and their ability to strike quickly and without warning. Their longships allowed them to navigate the rivers and coastlines of England with ease, making them a formidable threat. The arrival of the Vikings marked the beginning of a new and challenging chapter in the history of England, as the Anglo-Saxons had to defend their homes and way of life against these relentless invaders. At the end of the 700s, Viking warriors started attacking England from their longships. They stole treasure from monasteries and then attacked towns and villages. The biggest Viking attack happened in 1066. William, a leader from Normandy in France, Vikings had lived there, said he should be king of England. He fought the English king Harold at the Battle of Hastings, and William won. This changed England forever. William the Conqueror, the new king, gave land to his friends and started a new system called feudalism. He built the Tower of London and other cool buildings. French words became part of the English language. Then came the Plantagenet kings. King Richard the Lionheart fought in the Crusades. In 1215, King John had to sign the Magna Carta, a very important paper that said even the king had to follow rules. In 1485, the Tudor family became the new royal family. King Henry VIII is the most famous Tudor king. He started a new church, the Church of England, because he wanted a divorce. His daughter, Queen Elizabeth I, ruled during a great time for England. She beat the Spanish Armada, a big fleet of ships, and England became very powerful. Famous writers like Shakespeare lived during her time. After Elizabeth died, her cousin James became king. He was already king of Scotland, so now England and Scotland had the same king. The Stuart kings had a lot of problems. King Charles I fought with Parliament and there was a civil war. Charles lost and was executed. Oliver Cromwell became the leader. Later the kings came back, but then there was another revolution and a new king and queen came to rule. The 1700s were named the Georgian Era after several kings named George. The British Empire got bigger and the Industrial Revolution began. Britain won a big war and took control of more land in America and India. But then America decided to be its own country. New machines like the steam engine changed everything. There were now factories and big cities. Queen Victoria ruled for a long time. The British Empire was huge and things changed a lot in England. The 1900s brought two world wars. These wars changed the world and the British Empire got smaller. After the wars, England took care of its people better and joined the European Union, but then left later. Today, England has people from all over the world. It's a very interesting place with a long and exciting history. Knowing about the past helps us understand England today. Comment below with your favorite period in English history or any surprising facts you've learned from the video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more history content that brings the past to life. Thank you for watching and see you next time.